Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to discuss progressive activist philosophy of Lord Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson. As I have already discussed his biography, his writing style and complete analysis and line by line explanation of the poem Lotus Eaters by Tennyson. So his philosophy, progressive activist philosophy, which is very important to discuss, especially with reference to his poem The Lotus Eaters. So we will discuss this in detail. So let's have a revision type or a glimpse of about Lord Tennyson, right? He was the spirit of the age of Victorian age, and because he expressed the restlessness spirit of Victorian age, and he was a social reformer as well, right? And he was a believer of progress of science, technology and the industrial revolution as well. So we will discuss this in his philosophy, progressive activist philosophy as well. He was a great lyrical poet, and his ability, impressive ability to express emotions of what melancholy, grief, loss, loneliness, right, in an amazing way. And further, the major themes in Tennyson poetry include the divided self and psychological realism that we see in the Lotus Eaters, links external scenery to interior state of mind of his character, and the historical past, mythological past. And the Lotus Eaters, it is about mythology, Greek mythology, allusion to the story of Odysseus, right? And things like that. So this is Lotus Eaters. I've already discussed line by line this poem. You better watch that video. And the focus of this video is his philosophy, progressive activist philosophy. So as the name is self-explanatory, it talks about progress, right? So he was a social reformer and a believer of progress of science, technology, and supporter of this growth industrial revolution as well. So he just write in the favor of progress in life, making growth, self-development and things like that. So we can sum up his philosophy of progressive activism as in this line, in a single line, which is taken from his other poem Ulysses, which states that to strive, to seek, to find and not to yield. So this is the whole crux or the hallmark of this philosophy. You have only to remember, or if you caught this single line, you just hit the bullseye, right? No further explanation required of that philosophy once you remember this line or state that line when you were asked about this philosophy: to strive, to seek, to find and not to yield. Obviously this quotation or this line is self-explanatory in itself. It talks about the progress, the struggle. Obviously, to make progress or self-growth, we have to struggle, right? Strive means struggle. We have to struggle, hard work, toil, to seek what? To seek self-identity, self-growth, right? And then to seek, to search, right? To pursue and to find it. Find what? True self identity. And not to yield, not to surrender, not to give up. So it life, for me, life is the name of struggle. It is an ongoing struggle, and we are in a race, in a competition. So the one who give up the struggle, the walk of life, he will be left behind, obviously. So you have to consistently, with determination, to strive, seek, find, struggle, but never give up, never to yield, not to yield. So this is his philosophy. And in this poem Lotus Eaters, we will see the whole poem revolves around this philosophy. It talks about progress and restness, side by side parallelism, right? As he used different symbols or symbolism to express this idea. And the poem begins with the word courage, right? He said, Audacious said to his men, have courage, move on, we have to move on towards home. So you people that seems tired, no, you have to show courage, progress, courage, move on. Storm, they were in the storm, in the tempest, on the sea. So the symbolism of storm, sea, which is the sign of progress, right? Motionless, motion, not motionless, sorry, motion, progress, growth, struggle. Whereas land is, it is still, it is motionless, stop growth, and it show passiveness, and storm, whereas storm, see, it always moves, it show progress, it shows struggle, it show motion, right? So land show motionless, hopeless, means inaction. So the action versus inaction go side by side in this poem, and these are the whole crux of the progressive activist philosophy. And he used symbolism, home and sea, as I've already told you. And the poem begins with the word courage, and at the end, right before beginning the choric song, where the mariners, the people of Odysseus, they said that we will not go home anymore, right? They just give up the struggle of life, and don't they just give up their courage, right? So again, this thing is very important, and in the it is ironical poem, and in choric song, the stanza, one of the stanza, I think stanza number 5, it is highly ironical, where Tennyson talks about, as you know, he was a strong believer of progress, but in that stanza he talks about inaction, the idea of giving up, because the mariners, they just seek rest, give up on the struggle of life, right? And so what they said in this uh, stanza, right, their wording, they just complain to God that they are human beings, and they have highest degree in creation of God. Why they struggle, why they have to struggle a lot, though they are highest in category, in rank, in the creation of God, but they have to struggle a lot, because they have no courage left anymore, and they want to give up the struggle of life, right? And further important thing is, so where I will quote you the lines that in which they will talk about their rest, and they are complaining about their hard work and struggle of life, right? So in choric song, stanza 2, second stanza, let me show you the second stanza, and so that you will better understand it by lining. So here we go. Tennyson, where is Tennyson? Tennyson poetry, wait for a while, right? I will show you and describe uh, his progressive activist philosophy with reference to that. Yeah, here it is. So in this choric song, stanza second, they just give up on their struggle of life, and they say, why we human beings weigh upon with the heaviness, with this burden, the problems of life, the struggle of life, utterly consumed with the sharp distress, pain, and all of this, where while all things else have rest, right? All other creatures or other beings, they have rest in life, and they are enjoying their life. We human beings have to work hard. Our life is full of suffering, challenges, right? Uh, but instead, or despite the fact that we are the highest rank, we have highest rank in the creation of God, we are ashraful makhluqat, or the roof or the crown of things, we are the first of things, right? They said all things have rest, why should we toil alone? We only toil, who are the first of things. And further that you can quote regarding this concept, right? So he just contradict the idea of progress. So it is highly ironical stanza, and it is important as well. And they just want to give up the struggle of life, right? And further lines related to this, if they said that death is the end of life, right? Death, I already told you the comparison between action and inaction, motion and motionless, progress and give up. So death is motionless, right? Passiveness, no growth, no progress, whereas life is the name of moving on, motion, progress, growth, struggle, right? Death is the end of life. Why should all life labor be? They just complain that if death be the ultimate end of life, why we struggle, why this labor, why this hard work be? So they just give up upon the struggle, and they said that it is better to just die now rather than live a life of labor. Let us alone. They want totally left totally alone, unbothered by the real world, unbothered by the problems and sorrows of the real world. So this is about the progress, and about progressive activist philosophy that you can quote from this this poem Lotus Eaters. And further they seek is full death. They want on to they think that it is better to die rather than live a life of labor. And further, they said that all things have rest and ripen towards the grave. In silence ripen fall and cease. Give us long rest, death, dark death, or dreamful ease. So they give up the struggle of life and want death is full death or rest. They want to rest, do not want to go home. And they give lame excuses why they don't want to go home, because they think that the music here on Lotus Island is sweet, and our family has forgotten us because it has been a long time, 10 years, and things like that. So you can quote these lines again only to hear and see the far of sparkling brine, only to hear we sweet stretch out beneath the ripe. Again, hear and see, right? Sitting just rest and hear and see, it show in action. And to struggle and progress, you have to stand up and do work, obviously. And then these are important regarding that concept. And further, that's all these are the main points related that you can quote it from the poem or relate with Tennyson progressive activist philosophy in the poem Lotus Eaters. It is very important for exam point of view. Thank you for watching.